Alright, officer. Give it to me straight.
Huh. Pause, what?
I'm ready to take it. How long?
Say what?
Just finish quick.
I'll have you know I last quite long.
Oh, for flip's sake, just tell me why I'm here.
Oh, that. Yeah, you picked Life Weaver when you already had Ryan and Lucio on your team.
Seriously? Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Overwatch This Week, your one-stop shop for all the Overwatch news of the week. So, what's been going on in the game this week? Why, it's the return of the Summer Games, of course! Along with Lucio Ball making its return, the dev team have finally figured out that other sports exist, and have given us Winston's Beach Volleyball, which was shipped out to a wide critical acclaim, and definitely didn't have a bug where picking a certain hero would cause you to be kicked from the game for inactivity or anything. Other than that, there's new free stuff! By completing challenges during this event, you'll be able to earn the new Tropical Doomfist skin. Ooh, shiny. And along with this, there's also been large null sector ships spotted on Kings Row, New Queen Street, and Paraíso, known to be the maps where the next PvE will take place, as well as Colosseo and Midtown, which could hint that they're the next maps to get PvE content. Yes, it's a stretch, but we wouldn't be a legitimate news source if we didn't throw out wild speculation without any evidence now, would we? In terms of lore, along with the second episode of the Genesis animated series releasing, there's also been a new short story released involving Dr. Mina Liao, Echo, and Cassidy, and I do genuinely recommend you give it a read. I found it rather interesting, I must say. And, of course, the new Team Q mode will allow 5 stacks of any rank to be able to play together. Of course, this is the mid-season patch, and as such, there are new balance changes. To start with the tanks, Orisa has had her fortified damage reduction increased from 40% to 50%, Ramatra's Ravenous Vortex projectile will now pass through enemies instead of bouncing off of them, and Reinhardt has had his shield health increased from 1,200 to 1,400. You know, because the fun part of Ryan is holding shield when you want to not die, and a buff to his armor health totally wouldn't have accomplished a similar goal of keeping him alive for longer, while also making him a more active participant in team fights or anything. Right? Oh, and Ball's manu reload speed is like 0.4 seconds faster, I guess. On to the DPS. It was buffs aplenty for the S heroes, as Sojourn received a buff, making her primary fire spread tighter and increasing the number of shots it takes to reach that max spread. Soldier received a buff to his base damage, making his shots now do 19 damage, up from 18. A Helix rocket buff increases its splash damage from 80 to 90, and Biotic Field will now do 40 healing per second, up from 35. Symmetra also received a buff to her secondary fire. Maximum charged orbs will now do 50 damage on impact and 50 explosion damage, totaling 100 damage per direct hit, meaning she can now two-shot 200 HP heroes. However, that's not the thing that got the streamers mad for all of 5 minutes. That would be the fact that Symmetra can now regen up to 30 HP per second when her primary fire deals damage to shields or enemies with shield health, giving her a little bit more self-sustain. Her turrets now do 25 damage per second, but now reveal enemies when dealing damage and for 1 second afterwards. Torbjorn has also received similar changes that buff his base kit, his shotgun has its spread tightened, and Overload now reloads 6 ammo on use, nerfs to his turret, which sees its damage per shot decreased to 11 from 14, and its cooldown increased to 12 seconds from 10. There was also a sneaky buff to Cassidy's magnetic grenade hidden in the bug fix section of the patch, as it will now correctly affect Valkyrie's flight, Baptiste's exo boots, and Sigma's floating during gravitic flux, all of which will now be cancelled correctly. For the supports, Kiriko's healing Ofuda recovery time has been reduced by 0.1 seconds, and finally, after years of terrorizing tank players, Discord has finally been nerfed. Now Zenyatta has to undergo the grueling task of moving slightly closer in order to apply it. That's it. That's it. It's just the same as before otherwise. What a f***ing letdown. And now it's time for the wackiest part of your week. Whims, woes, or whimsy. Thank you for watching Whims, Woes, or Whimsy. And now it's time for Owl News, and by the time you're watching this, Owl will probably be kicking back off again for the second half of the season, and of course, there are drops. For 6 hours, you're gonna get the Widowmaker Overwatch League skin, home and away included, and for 10 hours, you're gonna get the Diva Overwatch League skin, home and away also included. This week, the Overwatch League store also got new bundles, tank bundles, and, you alright there, Diva? Obviously, with OWL kicking off again, we're going to need some contenders teams to join the APAC region from Tendies. And that brings us on to the OWL Summer Opens. 2 brackets packed full of the best APAC contenders teams and Frogger all battled it out for 2 spots in the Overwatch League APAC knockouts, with SPG taking the W in Group A Grand Finals, and a mostly ex-Chengdu players roster of Rhodes taking the W in Group B. Special shout out to Honeypot from Australia coming in 3rd in Group B, even taking out the Korean 1st seed in NT. In other news, The Shock announced their new signings: Probe, Renko, and Lucamino, which means the release of Heesang and Vindame, with the former being picked up by the Titans as they had a sudden vacancy in the DPS department for some reason. This provides him with the chance to do something very funny when Titans next play Shock. London also made some moves with the releasing of Lethal and Sky Ripper and the acquisition of Sauna from the Mayhem. NYXL also got in on the roster fun, releasing Halo and Lep to pick up OG. Damn, I can't believe they left the father of 5 with no sustainable income source. Funnily enough, Team USA also had a sudden vacancy in the DPS department, and they chose to fill it with an up-and-coming talent from Collegiate, Maryville's very own Dante.
And now for a blast from the past, Tuesday News Day.
In Arena 51 news, Terra Vicious has undergone a logo change to this sleek little number.
That's all for Tuesday News Day, folks.
And now it's time for Clips of the Week, where you guys send in your clips to the A51 Clips channel and we feature the best ones. This week, according to my producer, we definitely have 3 clips and no ego boosting. Sure. In 3rd, we have Crabby with a sniper monkey.
You're fine, you're fine.
In 2nd, we have Crabby again. Man, please submit some more clips. He can't keep getting away with this ego boosting. Anyways, look at him go, getting a 5k and then conveniently cutting off before he fails to get a 6th kill.
We can go main, we can go main.
Go main, go main.
I'm still going on Lucio. Lucio won, Lucio won. I know.
Anna. No nade again. One.
I'm on heals.
It's fine.
Going Myra.
Don't worry about me.
Just kill me.
I'm hacked.
3v3.
Nice job.
And in 1st, we have Sora with some very excellent ball chucking. And that does it for Overwatch this week. What did you think of the new Overwatch Genesis episode today? Let us know down below. And in the meantime, be sure to hit the subscribe button and slap a like on this video. You can also check out our Arena 51 socials down below. That was all from me, Funky, and your editor, Crabby, and we will see you all next week.